In a town called Purgatory, a man steps out of his truck and walks on the frozen lake into a fishing cabin positioned in the middle of the frozen lake. A woman wearing extravagant boots also arrives and walks to the cabin. The woman, named Mercedes, opens the trailer's door. The man, Nedley, who is starting to doze off, gets awakened by her noise. He hands her a bait she can use, but Mercedes is not impressed by it. She brings out her own pouch of baits and chooses one while Nedley makes them a drink. Then the bells in their fishing rods start ringing all at the same time. Curious about what's happening, they step out to check the situation. A huge black thing is seen circling around their trailer. Sensing danger, Nedley tells Mercedes to start heading to her car. Inside the trailer, the black gooey thing starts coming out of the hole. Nedley gets the gun from his car while Mercedes seems to be lost in the forest. A blonde-haired lady finds her and attacks her. She has supernatural powers, moving really fast as if she is teleporting. The lady asks her if the place is Ghost River Triangle, where bad things happen to good people. Before Mercedes can answer, Nedley arrives and calls the lady's attention. He prepares his gun, ready to shoot, but the lady attacks him too. With the two of them down, the lady declares that she only needs one of them to bring her the heir. Mercedes gets the clue that she's looking for the heir, Winona. The lady is about to attack Nedley again, but Mercedes stops her by saying she knows Winona, but she doesn't live there anymore. This is not a surprise to the lady. She states very confidently that Winona will surely be back once she baits the hook. She chooses Mercedes as the bait and grabs her neck. As if knowing that the lady will not let her live, she puts up one last fight, laughing while telling her that she wishes she could see the look on her face when Winona kicks her icy ass. The screen blacks out, and nothing but Mercedes' screams can be heard. The next scene shows her dismembered body spread out on the icy ground, spelling her Winona. Our main character is walking towards a small casino's door, wearing a very elegant glittery dress. When she sees her face labeled as a blacklisted customer, she just smiles and picks up the paper, crumpling it, then walks through the door anyway. She walks so confidently, catching the attention of the people around her. She's about to sit down and start playing when a security guy grabs her ear. This doesn't seem like a new event to Winona, as she doesn't struggle at all. She is now in a room full of casino security and the casino's boss, Paco. She's strapped in a chair, and a security guy punches her hard in the face. It doesn't seem to affect her that much, considering she just keeps throwing side comments. After, she sees a poster of Wyatt on the side and starts blabbing about him. It seems that these people do not know that they are in front of the heir, as Winona is not carrying any ID. She seems to have offended Paco in some way. The reason why they are interrogating her, a man punches her again. And Paco tells her that her partner has already spilled, so she might as well give up the act. A guy brings out Doc Holliday, Wia's boyfriend. Seeing him tied and gagged, worry flashes on her face, or is it fake worry? One security guy shares that Doc is claiming to be the same Doc Holliday that was Wyatt Herr's buddy, nicknamed the greatest gunslinger who has ever lived. They think it's ridiculous, as that would mean he's already so old. A guy searches Winona for any weapons and finds her gun called Peacemaker. Winona explains that it only slays demons. She adds that it even lights up when you point it at one. The gun suddenly lights up once pointed in Paco's direction, indicating he is a demon. Back in Purgatory, Sheriff Nicole is talking to the residents in the parking lot. She approaches a short-haired woman and teases that she cannot park at that spot. The woman is actually her wife, Waverly, Weena's sister. She kisses her tenderly. A woman approaches them, informing them that Nedley didn't show up to his Samba karate class this morning. The couple continue talking, not taking the woman so seriously. Nicole informs her wife she picked up the mail for her, and Waverly is very excited to see new postcards from her sister. Back in the casino, Doc Holliday starts fighting with the bad guys. Wiana just looks at him smiling and tells him to have fun. She finally reveals her identity to the enemies, calling herself a crazy chick with a demon-slaying gun. She manages to set herself free and attacks. She goes straight for Paco and then retrieves her gun, pointing it at him. She reveals that this has been their intention all along, to get caught so his men could bring them to the one room they couldn't breach, Paco's vault. Paco's eyes are now lit red and he is about to attack, but Wiana shoots him with a peacemaker, turning him to dust. There's just one enemy left, and he tries asking them if he could go, but Doc throws a knife at him, hitting his hand. All enemies are down, and as Doc tries to help Winona up, she playfully pulls him down, seducing him. He gives in, and they share a passionate time. Nicole and Waverly look for Nedley, now worried about why he still hasn't shown up. They go to the frozen lake and find his car there. They call his name but don't get any response. In a motel, Winona and Doc are counting the money they got from Paco's vault. Doc comments that every bit of money they get brings them one step closer to buying their own farm. They are doing all of this so they can finally be with their daughter, Alice, who is being taken care of by her aunt in Montana. Winona gets up and picks up a wad of cash, telling Doc they should go gambling to grow their money. However, Doc opposes this idea, as she just lost 10 grand last month. This spoils Wia's mood, and Doc apologizes to her, but Winona calls him boring, hurting his feelings. He gets up, about to step out and take some air to clear his head. Weena sees her daughter's photo on the bedside table, and with sadness in her eyes, she puts it down. Nicole finds Nedley injured, assuming he was attacked by a bear. She calls 911 to rescue her boss. Meanwhile, Waverly finds Mercedes's dismembered body and her last name spelled by it. She realizes it wasn't a bear that attacked. She calls Weena instantly. In the motel, Weena packs her things while trying to call Doc, but he left his phone. She writes a note instead and stabs it on the pillow, then grabs her jacket. She drives overnight and reaches Purgatory. Waverly and Nicole welcome her and fill her in on the situation. Back in the hotel, Doc finds Weena's note and prepares to follow her. At the police station, Nicole is working late when a lady walks in carrying Mercedes's severed head. She tries to fight the lady, but she isn't human and attacks Nicole. The lady tells her that she wants revenge and is looking for 3 precious things to Winona. She takes Nicole's wedding ring forcefully. Doc arrives and shoots her, but the bullet doesn't affect her. Doc takes Nicole home and explains what happened to the sisters. Nicole gives Winona a bracelet that she managed to snatch from the enemy. She recognizes it as the bracelet her sister gave her during her teenage years. Winona walks out to the barn with Nicole and recalls that years ago she wanted to show other girls in the group home she lived in that demons are real. She started a seance to conjure demons but got interrupted by the police. She realizes that the conjuring had been successful at that time. They get back to the house and find Agent Lafferty. He is one of Paco's guys who turns out to be an undercover agent from Black Badge, an organization focused on hunting demons. He wants to join them in hunting the demon. Winona agrees, seeing as they lack manpower. They start their plan to search for clues about the enemy. Winona goes back to the group home while Doc and Lafferty retrieve some weapons he hid. Winona searches the abandoned group home and remembers the woman who was taking care of her there, Mina, who turns out to be the enemy. She finds a note in a book Mina gave Winona before, and she realizes she has been tricked back home. Waverly and Nicole hear some sounds outside and find Mina standing there. Waverly attacks her, but Mina catches her punch and releases some black energy into Waverly. They get back in the house, but Waverly seems to be possessed by the black energy. She starts attacking her wife while looking for something. Waverly finds what she's looking for, the other bracelet she made for her sister, and the enemy ends up getting it. She now has 2 out of the 3 precious things she's looking for. Winona arrives and finds Mina. Mina attacks her and obtains a locket with her daughter's photo and hair in it. That is the 3rd precious thing she needs. Winona begs that Mina takes her life instead of hurting her loved ones. However, Mina wants her to suffer as much as she did when she was sent to hell due to the seance Winona performed. The next day, they go to an abandoned building ideal for them to take cover when Mina's beasts come for them. Moments later, demons start appearing. All of them start exterminating the demons one by one, waiting for Mina to arrive. Doc unfortunately falls and gets injured, so the others cover for him. Winona realizes that Mina is not coming. She has to find Mina in hell. She heads for the hell hole inside the fishing cabin and jumps in. Upon arriving in hell, her life flashes before her eyes. A flashback is shown, revealing that Mina was the one who called the cops, interrupting the seance Winona was doing years ago. Then she goes to the barn and gets dragged by the demons Winona was able to conjure going down to hell. Presently, Winona finds Mina and starts shooting at her, even though she knows it's pointless. They start combating each other, and Mina snatches her peacemaker. Just when Mina thinks she's finally winning, Winona brings out a box of containment, sucking Mina right in, holding her prisoner for all eternity. However, Winona is still not safe, as she's still in hell, surrounded by all the demons she exterminated before. She knows there's no escape. In the moment of darkness, she sees a hand from the hole where she came in and grabs it. It turns out that her friends found her and rescued her. They go back to the abandoned warehouse and find Lafferty there. He points the gun at them, asking for the box of containment. He reveals that he never passed getting into Black Badge, as he failed the psych evaluation too many times. He is seeking to get the box of containment and the peacemaker to sell it to some top organization. Winona begs him that letting out Mina would cost her daughter's life. He promises not to let her out, and Winona hands the box. Meanwhile, Doc is hiding somewhere, having a plan in mind. Doc follows them and stops them from leaving Purgatory. Lafferty and his men line up to face Doc. Lafferty is so sure that he cannot take all of them out just by himself. Doc accepts the challenge, and with one swift movement, he manages to take all 5 men down. He truly is the fastest gunslinger who ever lived. He retrieves the box and goes back to Vienna. However, he collapses. He has been shot, after all. Vienna assures him that they can still save him, but Doc breathes his last breath. The next scene shows Vienna burying her beloved. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Until next time, have a great day.